Hey everybody. I thought about something today that I wanted to share with you. In 1999, I was living in East Texas and working my way through Bible college by taking a full load of classes every day and stocking grocery shelves third shift every night. I was unbelievably exhausted. It was my sophomore year. It was also the year before Y2K. And in August of that year, the messaging was just overwhelming. It was everywhere. It was driving down the road. It was on the car radio. It was coming from the pulpit of the church I attended. Even in the grocery store, you couldn't get away from it because pallets of canned goods and bottled water were flying off the shelves. And so, in addition to being physically exhausted from day after day of insufficient sleep, I was emotionally drained by all this doom and gloom messaging that the world was coming to an end, that at midnight on the year 2000, the computers would crash, airplanes would fall from the sky, the financial markets would just be decimated and destroyed, and life as we know it would cease to exist. All the best days were behind us. This is the end of the world. And it infected every part of our lives. So that night in August, we got off work a little bit early and I walked out of the grocery store into the parking lot. The sun was not up yet, it was still dark. There was heat radiating off the concrete because in East Texas in August, it doesn't cool down even at nighttime. And I was so tired, and with bugs flying around and the heat radiating off the parking lot, I remember thinking to myself, I'm so tired. I could literally lay down right here on this concrete and sleep for a week. You know you're tired when you want to lay down and sleep on a grocery store parking lot. I was wiped. I thought about that just yesterday when I walked out of another grocery store into a parking lot and I felt the warmth of the sun, and that memory came flooding back, and I realized that it had been years, decades, since I've been tempted to lay down on a grocery store parking lot and take a nap. And that reminded me that in the middle of extremely difficult circumstances, it can feel like that's it, like there's nothing else. I remember thinking, why am I wasting my time killing myself to get this degree and to go through college and to try to pay my bills and to not have enough food to eat and go with sleep deprived day after day? Why am I doing that if the world's going to end anyway? But I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but it didn't end at Y2K. Life continued to go on. I graduated from college. I get a full night's sleep most nights now. I'm not as exhausted as I was, but we're in the middle of a time right now when things are dark and there's a lot of doom and gloom, and some of you are physically and emotionally worn out. You might not want to sleep on a parking lot, but if you could go somewhere and close your eyes and just be done, you're tempted to do that. And I want to remind you from my story that truth, that nothing stays the same and things are rarely as bad as they seem. And even when they are, given enough time, things will change. And there's just as much reason to hope that things will improve as to believe that they'll get worse. And so if you find yourself like I was on that hot night in August, looking down at a grocery store parking lot, wishing you could lay down and close your eyes and just shut the world out for a while, I want you to take heart and encouragement. Things will get better. Nothing stays the same, and it's never as dark as it seems forever. Hang in there. But please, whatever you do, don't lay down in the middle of a parking lot and take a nap. That's never a good idea. Okay, thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day.